Hello student, this is actually the lectures regarding the statistical techniques G401 for the students of 4th semester all stream of Center for Basic Sciences, Pandit Ravi Shankar Shukla University, Raipur. So this is just a revision lectures. Already I have taught these topics in my classrooms. So let me again revise the things, and further I will upload the lectures regarding the other topics as well. So I am going to give lectures regarding the random variables and how actually the probability theoretical distribution is. So let us start. So first of all, what is actually theoretical probability distribution? So what is distributions? Basically, to understand the distributions, this distribution is nothing but just the data and its value. So actually how the data are distributed, that is actually the distributions. So here we will talk about theoretical probability distributions. So as the name suggests, first of all it is a distributions, and it is distribution of probability, and the probability it is actually given theoretically. So the first question is, what is distributions? So distribution of what? So as we know that statistics actually is the subject of data, or also the learning of from the data. So distributions means data, representation of data. So data together with its frequency. Data may be discrete data or a continuous data. So how to represent a distribution? So for a discrete data we can represent it through say histogram. For a continuous data we can represent it through say frequency polygon. So there are so many other methods for representation of data. So distribution is basically actually the summary of data, how a particular value is the data is actually what is the frequency, how many times it has occurred in the collection of data. What is probability distributions? So the probability distribution is basically in place of frequency, if the frequency is replaced by the probability, then that distribution is called probability distribution. So basically the probability distributions means data value together with its probability. So that becomes the probability distributions. Depending on the value of the data, again it may be a discrete probability distribution or a continuous probability distribution. Then what is the theoretical probability distributions? So when we say that the theoretical probability distribution, that means that probability that a particular value of data that is given by theoretically. So probability represented theoretically by some mathematical functions, so that is called theoretical probability distribution. So depending on again the type of data, in the case of say discrete data, the theoretical probability distributions is represented by PMF, what is the probability mass function, and for the case of continuous data it is represented by probability density function. So these are actually the two nomenclatures for representing the probability distribution of data in the case of theoretical probability distributions. One of very important tool in the theory of theoretical probability distribution is actually random variable. So what is random variable? This is basically the one of the key concepts. Often students get confused, so we need to understand clearly what is random variable. So as the name suggests, random means by chance. So this is related to the probability theory, and in some sense it is variable. So what is actually the random variable? So for that, let me just in 1 or 2 minutes revise the probability theory. So what is probability theory? So in probability theory, we have a random experiment. So an experiment is any process that allows researchers to obtain observations. So we can get data either through observation or through some experiment. So this whole process is called actually experiment, or more specifically random experiment. And any event is actually the collection of results or outcome of some experiment. Simple event is actually the outcome of that random experiment, which cannot be broken down further. I will explain all this terminology with some example. For example, in a toss of coin, so that is actually the random experiment, and getting head in the toss of coin, that may be the event. And simple event, since getting head itself is a simple event, we cannot further break it, so that is actually the simple event. Similarly, in the case of say throw of a dice, so random experiment is throwing of a die. So event is, it may be say getting even number, so that is 1, 2, 4 or 6. And the simple event, so 2, 4 or 6, that is getting an even number, is not a simple event. It can be further broken down, so that is 2, 4 or 6. So just getting a 2 is a simple event. So this is actually the Venn diagram for a sample space. So the sample space is actually the collection of all possible outcomes. So out of this sample space, some part is actually taken as an event, and the probability of that event is defined as the number of favorable cases, or the number of ways this event S can occur, and total number of possible cases, that is the number of ways all the sample points can occur. So basically this is really the relative frequency of the simple event. So when we do some observation or some experiment, so in that situations, so we use the relative frequency as a probability. So that is the frequency divided by total frequency. Now, so this was just the revision of say rough revision of a probability theory. So now again we come to the point, what is the random variable. So random variable, mathematically, that is actually a functions from sample space. So that is actually a more mathematical definition of a random variable. So what is the random variable? It is a way of recording a numerical result of a random experiment. For each sample point, it is given one numerical value. So we will understand it through some further example. Let us understand this through an example. So here the example is an insurance company. Suppose when we buy an insurance, so the role of the insurance company is that it sells insurance, and the purpose is to get benefit for the company, and for a buyer the purpose is to secure. So if in the case something goes wrong, so the insurance company is securing you and making money by betting that you are going to live a long life, or that you are not going to crash your car or something like that. So it is important that insurance company offer its insurance at a fair price. If the price of the insurance is very high, then not many people will attracted. And so the question is how they calculate it, how a company calculate the price for an insurance plan. So let us take a simple model. So an insurance company offers a death and disability policy. So there are only two conditions: either someone gets someone expires, that is the death, and a disability kind of. So this is permanent disability. In the case of death, suppose 10,000 rupees is paid, and in the case of say disability, let us say 5,000. This is just as a simple example. So 5,000 rupees in the case of disabilities. The company charges, let us say 50 rupees per year for this benefit. So let us say this is an annual plan. So in 1 year one has to pay 50 rupees to buy an insurance. In case of death, the family gets 10,000 rupees. In case of permanent disabilities, 5,000 rupees. So the question is, should the company expect a profit? Suppose a company is launching such an insurance plan. The question is whether there is a chance of getting a profit for the company. So before launching this plan, there is actually we need to understand this problems. We need to define some terms. So what is actually the random variable here in this case? So the random variable is actually the payoff, that is actually the payout of the insurance company, that is how much the insurance company will pay to the buyer. So we usually use capital letters to represent the random variables. Let us in this case also let us represent it through the capital X. So the capital X is actually the amount and the company pays to the buyer. So there are only three cases: either the person gets death or disability or healthy. So these are actually the only three probabilistic situations. And for death the company pays 10,000 rupees, for disabilities 5,000 rupees, if the person is healthy then the company pays 0 rupees. So this is actually the complete picture. So these three situations are these are actually the simple events, and these three simple events are mutually exclusive and mutually exhaustive. That means both any two cannot occur together, and if a person is selected at random who has actually bought the company insurance, then one of the three chances will be there. So this is actually, so we need know what happens. So for that the company takes data from the, let us say, public health agencies, and it is found that out of 10,000 people, usually one person gets death. Actually this is actually the death, it is unnatural deaths, and 2 persons out of 10,000 gets permanent disabilities. So here in this case, if we assume that any persons who have bought the insurance, there is equally likely that he will get an death or disabilities. So that is in statistical term that is called uniform distribution. So equally likely situations. So the persons of say getting having a death is a 1 in 1000. The ratio for disabilities is 2 in 5000, and then the rest of that is 998 for getting healthy. So the probability that X equal to 10,000, that the company has to pay 10,000 amount, is actually 1 by 1000, because so that is actually the probability. Similarly, the probability that the company pays 5,000, that is X equal to 5,000, is actually 2 by 1000. So that is actually the here we can define Px equal to small x. Here small x is represented for the value of random variable capital X. So in this case, so for 10,000 the random variable is here x. So the for value 10,000 its probability is 1 by 1000. For the case of 5,000 value of random variable, its corresponding probability is 2 by 1000, and so on. So this is called a probability distribution table. So this is basically the distribution. So here we have the data values and their corresponding probability. So here we can see that this is actually the relative frequency. So in every 1000, so the relative frequency for death is 1 by 1000. For disability it is 2 by 1000, and for being healthy is 997 by 1000. Sorry, earlier I said 998. So that is so that is actually the random variable. So a random variable, so this random variable is defined on the sample points. So in this random experiment there are 3 sample points: death, disability, and healthy, and these are the corresponding data value of random variable, and this is corresponding frequency. If this particular probability is defined through some mathematical formula, so then it becomes theoretical probability distribution. So here in this case it is just a probability distribution, but if we give some formula to define these probabilities, then it will be a theoretical probability distribution. In the class we have already discussed regarding the binomial probability distributions. Similarly, that is actually one kind of a discrete probability distribution, theoretical probability distribution. So binomial, Bernoulli's, these are actually the Poisson, that these are actually the discrete distributions. So I will post some lectures related to these discrete probability distributions later. So let us go further. So discrete versus continuous random variables. So what is the difference between discrete and a continuous random variable, and how we choose that whether the value of the random variable will be discrete or continuous? So that depends on a specific conditions what we are actually studying. So if x takes a specific number of values that like 1 2 3 minus 1 minus 2, so these are discrete. But if it takes continuous value in a range of values, then it is called continuous random variable. So for example, height. So height may be height, say for example the height of a student of CBS. So that height distributions will be a continuous random variable. So again, so let us this again solve this problem. So the question was that should the company launch such a insurance? So that is done through the expected value. What is expected value? So that is the mean of the random variable. So already I have defined it in the class and discussed in details. There's mu is equal to e of x. This is the notations for expected value of random variable capital X, and its value is defined like this. So data value is multiplied by its corresponding probabilities, and the sum is taken over all the sample space. So this is the formula for calculating expected value, and this is also very easy to understand why the formula is like this. So this is basically, this is just data value, it is corresponding frequency divided by total frequency, but here total probability is since 1, so therefore the mean this is actually nothing but the arithmetic mean. So that's why we also call this Ex, that is the expectation of the random variable, as the mean of the random variable. Similarly, through descriptive statistics we know that the standard deviation. So the standard deviation is actually the measure of dispersion or deviation. So here in this case, so variance, that is the square of standard deviation, is through shortcut formula. This is defined like this: summation taken over x square into px of, or taken over all x, that is the data value of random variable, minus mu square. Here mu is nothing but the expected value. So this is actually the questions for you people. So this by this and add this. So this is actually the multiplication of this is 10, the multiplication of this is again 10, so 10 plus 10 20. So that's it, because it will become 0. So the expected value or mean value of this random variable, that is equal to 20 rupees. What is that is the mean value of x is 20 rupees. That is the company will pay to an insurance buyer is 20 rupees. So the mean is 20 rupees, but the company has launched the insurance policy for 50 rupees per year, which is greater than the expected value. So it is expected that, that there is a high chance that the company will be in profit, because the price for an insurance is of rupees 50s, which is much higher than the average price, that is rupees 20. Let us again take the another example, that is actually concert planning. Suppose there is a huge outdoor concert planned on June 15, so that is the month of June, and the producer estimates the attendance, that is actually the number of audience in the concert, depending on the weather conditions. So from the weather department, so they have collected the weather conditions, and the probabilities are like this: the weather condition of getting wet and cold, that is 20% chances of in this last 10 years. Again, this is actually the relative frequency. Wet and warm 20%, dry and cold 10%, and dry and warm 50%. So the total sum is 1, that is actually 100%. So there are only 4 possible cases, and these are actually mutually exclusive and exhaustive. So the producer, they expect that in these different weather conditions, so the number of audience, that is attendance of audience, that will be like this. So if the weather condition is dry and warm, then they are expecting the highest number of audience 50,000, and if the weather is wet and cold, then the least number of audience 5,000. So this is actually the scenario. So that there are two questions. So again, what is the expected mean or attendance, and how would you advise the producer to go ahead with this concert or not, and why? That means organizing such a concert will be monetarily beneficial for the producer or not. The further details are like this. The ticket will be sold for 9 rupees each. The cost for per person's arrangement cost is 2 rupees, that is for cleaning and crowd control, etc. 150,000 for music band, and 60,000 for administrations. So these are actually the total cost, and the tickets are sold for 9 rupees per ticket. Let me again show you the details. That is, in wet and cold weather conditions, the expected number of, the attendance will, their guess is 5,000 number of audience. In the case of wet and warm weather conditions, the number of audience will be 20,000. In the case of dry and cold conditions, the number of audience will be 30,000. And in the case of dry and warm condition, the guessed number of audience will be 50,000 with their corresponding frequency. This frequency they have gathered from the weather department, weather office of the. So this is actually again the questions, mathematically the questions regarding the expected value. So if the expected value of this random variable, so that is if it is actually greater than 9 rupees, then it will be in loss. If it is less than 9 rupees, then it will be beneficial. So in this way we can we can calculate or manipulate the random. From the theory of probability, we know that the probability that any random variable equal to xi, definitely we are talking about discrete random variable. So always probability lies between 0 and 1, that is, it is non-negative, and the total probability, suppose there are n possibilities, so the total probabilities is equal to 1. There are few more examples without context. So this is just a mathematical version. Suppose this is the x, some random variable, value of random variable, and this is the corresponding probability. So the questions are like this: find the probability that x is greater than equal to 17. So here we can see that 17 is here. So this, be careful, it is greater than equal to, that is the value of random variable is either less than 17 or equal to 17. So there are three possibilities: either x will be 15, 16 or 17. So by the addition law of probability, so the answer of this question, that is the probability that x is less than equal to 17, that will be 0.2 plus 0.3 plus 0.2. So that is 0.7. Basically, since 15, 16 and 17 are actually mutually exclusive, that means none of the two can occur simultaneously. That if the x is either 15, then it can never be 16. If x is 16, then it can never be 17, like that. So therefore, so either of 15, 16 or 17. So that is actually, we use here addition law of probability. So therefore, the answer for the first question is 0.2 plus 0.3 plus 0.2, that is 0.7. So that is the probability that x is less than equal to 17 is in percent, that is 70%, and so on. So you have to calculate all these other probabilities also. Similarly, we can also calculate the expected value and standard deviation of the random variable. So that is nothing but expected value is the arithmetic mean, and standard deviation is just the standard deviations calculated as we calculate in descriptive statistics. So the formula, earlier we have written the formula for this discrete case, and this is actually the shortcut formula for calculating the variance, sigma square, and square root of this is actually the standard deviation. So here in this we have to take care of the these cases: at most, at least, not more than or not less than, like scenario. So for example, this is actually, it can be interpreted in language that x is not more than 17. So it is either 17 or less than 17. So here it can be also said that at least 17. X is equal to 19. X is here X is at least 17. These are actually the phrases we need to be careful regarding solving the problems. So thank you.